The Sublime Beauty of Salvation. Devotional Thoughts for Women by Marianne M. Grutner. God is a lover of the beautiful, and above all that is outwardly attractive, He loves beauty of character. He would have us cultivate purity and simplicity, the quiet graces of the flowers. Good morning, dear friends. Today, April the 18th, our devotional is entitled Risky Shortcuts. Our scripture reading is from Proverbs chapter 16 and verse 25. There is a way that appears to be right, but in the end, it leads to death. Shortcut. It is the word we use in English to refer to the shortest route, the place where we abbreviate, a way that shortens the distance, allowing us to proceed more quickly. Taking shortcuts in the culture of immediacy in which we live today seems attractive. It is common for people to choose the shortest path in the sense that it requires the least effort. And while shortcuts can be useful in some areas, such as the use of technology, because they speed up work, they are not always the best option in other aspects of life. The people of Israel could have taken a shortcut to reach Canaan from Egypt, reaching their destination in a few weeks. However, God knew that they were not prepared to withstand the dangers that they would encounter on that shorter route. They might have become frightened when they reached Philistine territory, where they might have been attacked and been tempted to return to captivity. In addition, they needed to mature before they were ready to become a nation. By allowing them to spend more time in the desert, God intended to transform them from slaves into an autonomous and responsible nation. In our Christian journey, we too often ignore the path that requires resignation, humility, and work on ourselves, and we end up following the shortcuts suggested by the enemy. In Eden, the enemy suggested to Adam and Eve that the shortest path to excellence was to follow their own will and led them to an end from which there was almost no return. In the desert, he offered Jesus a shortcut to prevent him from fulfilling his mission. But Jesus did not fail, did not fall for his deception. King Saul, anointed by the Lord, made the mistake of following the devil's shortcuts, which resulted in complete failure. Abraham, the father of faith, also made the mistake of choosing a shortcut when he accepted polygamy and ended up suffering bitter results. Today is no different. Satan continues to offer us attractive shortcuts, doing our own will, focusing on lofty goals that prevent us from having time for a devotional life and for witnessing about Christ. Following these shortcuts will lead us to eternal ruin. Yes, it is true that following God can be more challenging, for it requires a path of effort, sacrifice, surrender, and submission. But the final reward is heaven. There are no shortcuts to heaven. Even if you have to travel the most difficult path, only accept the one God has prepared for you. That is how you will reach your desired destination. There is a way that appears to be right, but in the end, it leads to death. Proverbs chapter 16 and verse 25.